All right, welcome back. It's still East Central where we bring you the best entertainment conversations from around the world. Yes, we're here to do that, to serve you as it's hot. Now, Afrobeats has achieved significant global acceptance driven by key factors such as international collaborations, digital platforms, and increased mainstream media recognition. Artists like Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido, they've made successful crossovers into the global market through collaborations with international stars and chart-topping hits. Now, with its growing presence in major international events and festivals, Afrobeats is firmly established as a dominant global music force. Now, joining me on the show is a young Nigerian artist in the diaspora, B4M, as we discuss Afrobeats' global rise in 2024. B4M, how you doing, my bro? You good?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm fine. We're good here. We're good here. So let's quickly dive into the conversation. We're talking about Afrobeats, knowing fully well that you also do Nigerian Afrobeat music. We're talking about Afrobeats
Yes.
and its global recognition. Now let's take a look at how it's been so far in 2024. Afrobeats 2024 would say one of the biggest years because the Grammys and major awards happening outside of Nigeria. What do you have to say about this global recognition, seeing the fact how far Afrobeat has come?
It's really amazing to see. I've been listening to Afrobeats since I grew up on Afrobeats, and which is why I make Afrobeats music. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really amazing to see, the growth, with people, as you mentioned, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido, Remas, even Star, the younger people as well,
Yeah.
Thames, just doing different things all over the world. And it's really amazing to see what Nigerian artists have been able to achieve. And it's very inspirational, I would say.
I like that. I like that. Now, there's been some kind of conversation about Afrobeats and a bit misrepresentation, if I should say so.
Mhm.
If we look at award shows, for instance, and most
Yeah.
of these situations that we've been having where someone like Tyler would win an Afrobeat award and go out
Mm.
there and say, no, I represent my piano, but Afrobeats and all that. What do you have to say about this misrepresentation? And where do you think the issue is, basically?
Thank you very much. This is something that I've been, it's been on my mind for a long time. And I feel the onus is on the Nigerian entertainment industry.
Hmm.
I believe these things aren't well defined. There isn't, even a proper definition of what Afrobeats is, which is why, a bunch of different artists come and say, oh, I make Afro this, Afro that, when in reality, they're all talking about the same thing.
Hmm.
So I feel like the Nigerian entertainment industry, the industry as a whole, they have a very big role to play in terms of, standardizing these things so we really know what Afrobeats is.
Hmm.
Because right now it feels like, oh, it's just a term that is thrown out there and nobody even wants to accept it sometimes. And then because that's what the world sees it as, they just, categorize everything. And that's where the issues lie.
Hmm.
Because the industry doesn't, make proper accommodations or proper definitions of any of these things. And the artists themselves don't really help the case.
Hmm.
So I feel like that's where the issue really lies. If these things are well defined and well, like properly put in the public eye,
Mm-hmm.
then we would really know what Afrobeats is and we won't have all this confusion.
I'll take you up on what you said about the
Mm,
artists not really defining what it is. Now, looking at the
mm,
collaborations, the past collaborations, successful collaborations we've seen and the Nigerian top artists do with other international acts, some of them would say that because of the international affiliation or collaborations, they lose the core essence of Afrobeat itself to just be able to accommodate the international artists. Do you think this is one of the reasons why we can't really say what it is for what it is? Do you think that's also a situation we're facing?
I wouldn't say so because as for other genres of music that aren't, the mainstream American pop
Yes.
or hip hop, there's always some sort of accommodation to make the music work.
Mm-hmm.
If a Kendrick Lamar makes music with a Taylor Swift, it's not going to be his typical kind of music. And that's the beauty of collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel it's the international collaborations that are making it lose its definition.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it just wasn't set from, the onset. And I guess not everybody was really prepared for Afrobeats to explode. Because before, say maybe 2021, it was a very Nigerian thing, and it was just assumed that everybody in Nigeria knew. We all know what Afrobeats is amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
So there wasn't, the extra wahala of trying to represent it properly, trying to explain. And because of how quickly it's happened,
Hmm.
I would say, yes, there's like a lag there, but there's still time to correct it because I only believe Afrobeats is going to get bigger and bigger.
Okay, so let me just pick your brain on this because we know that recently
Okay.
Tyler still got an award by at the VMAs, and
Mm,
we're still looking at Afrobeats. And people were saying that this MTV, this is an organization that is global, and they understand the dynamics of music, looking at where Afrobeats generated from and where Amapiano generated from. But she still got there and bagged an award as an Afrobeat artist. Now, they're saying that is it that it's trying to be look like a conspiracy against the Nigerian, core of Afrobeats, that they say, okay, we're going to generalize African music as Afrobeats music. Do you think it's a conspiracy from the outside?
it's a conspiracy. Like, I really do feel that, because in South Africa, they pride Amapiano as their
Yeah.
own, even though Nigerian artists have been making a lot of, Amapiano fusion records. South Africans still pride Amapiano as their own.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very clear identity with it, with how the music sounds and whatnot. And I feel like Nigeria hasn't done that.
Mm.
There's still more that could be done, in terms of identifying it. And I personally believe that some of the music that Tyler has won these awards for is more Afrobeats than it is Amapiano.
Mm.
But even if, the home country isn't even properly defining what that is, anybody can really come and say they're doing Afrobeats or I'm not doing Afrobeats,
Yeah.
or they are taking an essence of what Afrobeats is. But because nobody really knows what it is, they can say, oh, I'm not making Afrobeats, but they know that's what they're doing within. And there's a little like exploitation as well.
Mm.
Because I mean, I don't believe Water that by Tyler is an Amapiano song,
Mm.
but it has a lot of Afrobeats elements. But because it's easy to just say, oh, it's not Afrobeats, and people really think, oh, what even is Afrobeats? If she says it's not Afrobeats, it's not. But it's taking advantage of what Afrobeats is, like what people love about Afrobeats.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's just too much uncertainty, and all that needs to be cleared up.
Well, it's the end of the year. Gradually, we're almost there, and people would say that Afrobeat has made its mark on the global scene. Looking at different
100%.
collaborations, international recognitions, awards, and all that. Do you think there is more to be done? Looking at the success of Afrobeat already this year alone, do you think there's more to be done as per the accolades we can get, or do you think we should just focus on defining what Afrobeat is truly to the world?
Um, both these scenarios don't have any negatives in my opinion. The Afrobeats can continue to grow. We can continue to, penetrate different markets, different countries, which is amazing. But there also needs to be a lot done in terms of like just the infrastructure back home.
Yeah.
People talk about how a lot of Afrobeats artists are really only concerned about international awards. What's going on with the awards at home?
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel that also needs to be worked on. So people can really embrace Afrobeats for what it is. People talked about how a lot of artists hardly even perform back home, like before, at least the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And these are issues that should be addressed. So I don't know at what level in the industry, the government, that needs to be addressed, but that's something that also needs to be done. So I feel it goes both ways. Afrobeats can continue to grow,
Hmm.
but it also needs to have a solid foundation. As some, if not, I feel like we are going to lose Afrobeats because there are people that are non-Nigerian, non-African, even already slowly starting to get
Yeah.
Afrobeats nominations, and I feel that's just the normal life cycle of a genre being globalized. But if that continues to happen and there's no sort of if you don't fully claim it and hold it as our
As
own,
our
we can
own.
lose it and they can take it off our hands.
Yeah, yeah, I'll take you up on that because the truth is, Chris Brown just got nominated in a category for Afrobeats, as in the Afrobeats category.
Exactly.
Yes, Chris
Yeah,
Brown. So looking at it now, like you said, there's a possibility that they might take it if we don't define it properly. Interesting.
exactly.
Interesting. Now, you are an artist yourself, and you've been doing this for a while.
Mm.
Now, what you are an Afrobeat artist, Abi, or should we
Yeah.
start an argument on
Afro,
that?
no, Afrobeats, that's what it is. It's true definition.
Yeah, Afrobeats, or true definition. And you've been doing this music outside the shores of Africa. So Let's talk about the acceptance there from your point of view, seeing how you've been putting out your work and the acceptance from people out over there where you stay.
I'm really grateful for the globalization of Afrobeats. I feel like that's the biggest reason why I'm able to make Afrobeats have an audience here and still have a large audience in Nigeria as well.
Yeah.
Because with things like streaming platforms and just how well connected everything is, I have that opportunity to satisfy both my fan bases. Because of how big it's gotten, I have a wider reach, wider audience, more
Yeah.
diverse audience. And because the city that I live in is also very multicultural,
Okay.
it's been a positive for me.
Interesting. So far, it's because of the global recognition Afrobeat has gotten, it's easier for you to do your music there as well. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not something that is so obscure anymore. Like Afrobeats is a popular genre of music now, so it's a lot more approachable, a lot more palatable to the non-Nigerian. Even though I really do believe that my main audience is Nigerian people, so even with my audience in Canada, Toronto, outside Nigeria,
Yeah.
I feel like primarily it's Nigerian people, but there's definitely a lot of non-Nigerians that have come to embrace and appreciate my music.
All right. Okay. So let's quickly before I let you go. We know that you got your latest singles, "Animal" and "Gbemidebe." These are totally
Yeah.
Afrobeat tracks out there, and I'm saying yes. Looking at the composition of these songs and the messages you were trying to pass through them, would you say they are doing justice based on how you decided to put them through quickly?
Oh, for my song specifically, yes.
Yes.
So the two songs, Animal and Gbemidebe, is really looking at a love and lost dynamic. So these are two very human emotions that we feel when we are invested or when we are, seeing somebody. And I wanted to, express that, two sides of how we feel. There's the love side, which is what Gbemidebe touches on,
Yeah.
and Animal. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how people receive the songs. And
Interesting.
songs both come out on the 23rd of December.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm
Okay. Okay. Great stuff. Great stuff. It's good
right
that
before
it's
Christmas.
good that you're still out there representing Afrobeats and you have not changed your style of music to suit the environment, because some people also say that there are artists who do that because of where they go to, they lose themselves just to be able to be accommodated in where they stay. But it's good that you're still standing strong with Afrobeats and you're still ready to make it happen. But
Yeah,
because
I
of
pride
time, it's
myself
been
in
great.
originality
It's
and
been
staying
great.
true to,
Yeah,
who I am.
staying true to your art. It's been great talking to you, B4M, and thank you for sharing your thoughts on the growth of Afrobeat as it is. Definitely, when more work come out, when more things pop up, we'll definitely reach out to you to have another conversation. All right? Good, good.
I'd love to be back.
Great
Thank
stuff.
you very much.
Great stuff. Thanks, man. Thanks for your time.